Well, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, has come out to say, now that the Queen is dead, let's talk about leaving the Commonwealth and turning New Zealand into a republic. But no, it's not for people power, guys. It's not for real democracy. It's for tyranny and her obsession with power. One of the things I love about my job and what we do on this channel is essentially to translate the language of the elite and politicians. Because when you have the mainstream press and media simply giving you all these weird headlines, to simplify it in such a stupid manner and say, well, Jacinda Ardern has just come out to say that constitutional monarchy is outdated, New Zealand should leave the Commonwealth, become a republic. A lot of people say, well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, republic sounds good. Yeah, giving more power to politicians sounds absolutely fine. Electing a politician, a corrupt politician as the head of state, absolutely fine. That's not the only problem, because a controlled, managed republic could work perfectly, right, in certain cultures. The issue is, who is leading these movements? What sort of people are interested in these sort of changes? Well, when you look at the likes of Jacinda Ardern, who was on BBC when she was in London a couple of days ago, and said this.
You've expressed great affection for the Queen, but in terms of the relationship between our two countries, there were occasionally protests when she visited New Zealand some years ago. And you say now that it is inevitable that New Zealand will become a republic in your lifetime. Why do you say that?
Yeah, why do you say that? First things first, Laura Kuenssberg on the BBC. Do you really have to turn that interview on during the period of the funeral, the weekend of funeral, the day of funeral? They're all there doing these TV interviews. Is it the right time to turn that event into not just a political debate, but a very relevant political debate? I mean, this is just my judgment. Some people might disagree. They're like, yeah, let's just talk about politics. Let's just ignore what's going on the day. But this is what Ardern said.
Our relationships. In fact, when she came to New Zealand several decades ago, she herself acknowledged that the treaty between Indigenous New Zealanders, Māori, and the Crown had been imperfectly observed. That simple observation is still spoken of today.
Oh, yeah, of course, sure. I absolutely understand these concerns. But what do you think is going to happen, soon or later?
I don't believe it will be quick or soon, but over the course of my lifetime. Yeah,
your lifetime. Now, going back to my concern about who is leading these movements, the problem here is that the types of Jacinda Ardern or Justin Trudeau in Canada, the issue we have with these people is that they've already proven that they can't be trusted with too much power. Now, with limited power that they have, because of the Commonwealth, and to be fair, that the countries like Canada and New Zealand already have too much power. We've already given them independence because they're not fully linked. The head of state in this country doesn't really just go to Canada or New Zealand and say, well, stop turning your country into a tyrannical police state. They can't. We don't do that here from London. But we have already been proven right that you can't trust these people. When Jacinda Ardern tried to turn New Zealand into a two-tier based society.
So you basically said this is going to be like, well, it's almost like, you probably don't see it like this, the two different classes of people. If you're vaccinated or if you're unvaccinated, you have all these rights. If you are vaccinated...
That is what it is, so yep.
Can you describe this?
Yeah, it is what it is. So imagine someone like her or Trudeau with more power, because they missell you the idea of republic, saying, well, republic is about people power. You're going to have a vote. Sure, yeah, but then what happens after the vote? You're going to give more power to big government. The size of government gets bigger and bigger. Then you can actually do whatever you want. And some of the tyrants in history who got to power, they actually did it under the voting systems that we had, under so-called republics. They were elected. They were voted in by the public. But because of the system, the model they created, they were able to manipulate it. And they were able to then abolish democracies. And that's what these people want. Don't trust any promises of freedom of democracy when it comes from the left. They're not going to give you the freedom that you want. They're going to keep all the power to themselves. Now, we're going to come back In half an hour, we're going to tell you more about what's going on in British politics and the new Prime Minister. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Maya TC and we are the media.